everyone! We are really close to Christmas. Today is December the 19th, and this is Flosstube number 15. So I'm wearing mouse ears today because I am going to Disney, and I felt like it was very festive. Since this is technically like my Christmas episode, because I will not see you guys again until the new year. So here we are. My name is Elizabeth. This is Frizzy, Lizzie, Stitches, if you're new here. And yeah, so I got things about life stuff to talk about. I've got a few projects to show, and then at the end of this video I will be talking about plans that I have for next year, as far as like what projects I'm going to be doing and kind of what my next video is going to look like. So yeah. So on into the life stuff. My first big news is that I got engaged last Friday, well I guess 2 Fridays ago, December the 10th. Yeah, so I don't have my ring to show off because my ring was too big, so we had to send it off to get resized. And I figured since I was going to Disney, it would be really dumb to wear a loose engagement ring at an amusement park. So I figured if I'm not going to wear it then I might as well send it off now so that they can be working on it and that it'll be ready when I get back, so that I won't have to send it off when I get back. I'll be ready. And I'm very excited because I'm sad that I don't have it now, obviously, because Bobby and I are like, he was like, I'm sad that you don't get to look at it all the time. And I'm like, I know, me too. But yeah, so anyway, but it should be back early January. So, and you better believe I will show you. Yeah, so how he asked, we went to Nashville for the Chris Stapleton concert, and we were chilling out in our hotel room, and we were like watching Friends, kind of waiting closer to dinner time, I guess, so we could go out and whatnot. But yeah, and we were just chilling, and we saw this commercial that it was like some car commercial, and it had like a puppy in it or something, and I made a comment about how we should get a dog, and I guess that like kind of gave him the push to be like, okay, I'm gonna do it now. And anyway, so he like said something about how we needed to have a conversation about commitment, and I was like, oh, okay. And then he like got up and like rummaged through his bag, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is happening. And I kind of like, we both kind of blacked out. Like, he said some really nice things to me, and I was crying. And anyway, I obviously remember him actually asking, will you marry me, and me saying yes, but all the preamble between him pulling the ring out of his bag and actually saying, will you marry me, is kind of a blur. But I know that it was, I know that he said nice things. I just wish I could remember what they were. But anyway, yeah, we're both very excited. And yeah, we've been dating for like 7 years, and our relationship has been pretty interesting as far as like where we've been, because we met in college and dated for like 2 years while we were both at the same college, but he was 2 years older than me, so he graduated and went off to do this what do they call it, a fellowship at the National Institutes of Health in Montana. And so then that was basically for 2 years while I was finishing my school, and then he started med school, which was 300 miles away as opposed to being 3,000 miles away. So while he was doing his first 2 years of med school, I had moved back home so that I could work and pay off my student loans and kind of tiptoe into adulthood, I suppose. Not paying rent for 2 years was really nice because I was able to pay off my loans. We're going way back. I didn't expect to do this. Anyway, so yeah, and then he's wrapping up his 4th year of med school. So we've been where we are now for the past 2 years. So yeah, or something like that, 1.5 years. He still has another half year left of school. So yeah, anyway, so we're really excited. And let's see. So we went to the concert. Concert was amazing. If you like country music and you ever have a chance to see Chris Stapleton, I highly recommend. It was absolutely fantastic. And then the next day when we were going home, we stopped in Lynchburg, Tennessee, which is home of Jack Daniel's whiskey. And so we went on a Jack Daniel's distillery tour, and we got the best tour guide ever. His name was Dusty, and he was really funny. He had all these like little funny stories to tell here and there, and he made it like it was already a good experience, but he just like made it even better. So, and then we did the whiskey tasting, which was also really fun. So they let us try Gentleman Jack, and then of course the original Jack Daniel's, and then they have like a Jack Daniel's rye one, which is basically like whiskey is like corn, barley, and rye or something. So the rye whiskey is just like more percent of rye than, because their normal one is like mostly corn, I think. And then the 3 flavored ones, the honey, fire, and apple. So yeah, it was a super cool experience. And I'm not necessarily a whiskey person, but I really enjoyed the tasting. The flavored ones were my favorite because, I don't know, they just tasted like exactly what they say they were. So yeah, anyway, that's kind of what happened to me last week, or 2 weekends ago. Anyway, yeah, and then this past week at work was just kind of like crazy because, I don't know, it's getting to where like a lot of people are just trying to get stuff done before they leave for the holiday, and I'm gonna be working tomorrow, but then after that I'm done for the rest of the year. So because I'll be taking a couple weeks off to celebrate with my family and my fiance's family. So yeah, going to Disney this week, and I'm super excited. I went to Disney for Christmas once before. That was several years ago when I was still in college, but we weren't there for actual Christmas Day. We like left on Christmas Eve. So, but this time we're actually going to be there for Christmas Day, and I'm really excited. I mean, Disney is a very magical place, and Christmas is a very magical time of year, so I don't know, it's going to be awesome. I'm not looking forward to all the crowds because I'm sure it's going to be terrible, but I don't care. So yeah, okay. Well, I think that's enough chattiness for non-stitchy stuff, and I think we can start talking about the projects that I have got to show. So, first things first, I only actually worked on one cross stitch piece, but I did finish a couple things, and yeah, so I guess we can start with what I like. Well, one of them I started and finished, and one of them I just finished, so we'll talk about this one first. Okay, so last week I showed you guys that I finished stitching my snow bunny from Satsuma Street, and so this past week I actually finished it into an ornament. So this little blue and white string was actually used to like tie all the floss together that came in the kit, but I really liked it, so I just decided to use it as my hanger. And then I just did felt on the back, which it was kind of tricky like cutting it in the right shape to get around all these like crevices and stuff, but I think I did pretty decent. So yeah, this is how it looks fully finished. So when Pam and Steph do their videos, Stephanie's always like, Pam, get out of the frame for a second so it'll focus. And I realized that like every time I show something, like obviously it's still focused on me because I'm the biggest part, but I don't really know like if it would focus better if I wasn't in the frame. I feel like it's really washed out. That's a little better. Focus on the actual cross stitch instead of my face. So yeah. Anyway, there's my snow buddy. So he's been chilling out on the tree, and I wanted to start another ornament, but I just didn't get around to it, so this is just the one for this year. Okay, and the other thing that this was actually a start and finish. I had been wanting to make one of those like bowl cozies, so when you microwave stuff in a bowl, it keeps the bowl, or the bowl's hot and you don't have to touch it because it's in the cozy. So anyway, I made this one. I used the sugar and cream, the like Christmas one. I think it's called like mistletoe or something, but anyway. So yeah, this is what it looks like, and then the inside looks like that. The reason that this is all white is because the pattern that I used basically makes you make 2 of these circles. So I did one white and then I did one the color that I wanted this all to be. So the only problem that I've had is my bowls are really big. So they fit in here and it'll still do its job, but I probably need to adapt this pattern for my really big bowls because it's just not quite, it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't come up high enough on the sides. But also, this basically took almost a full ball of yarn for that sugar and cream. So, anyway. But yeah, I haven't really gotten to use it yet. But, yeah, I don't know what else to say about this. So, but I like how the variegated Christmas colors look. It looks really neat. So I worked on Cozy Cafe. I've been trying to catch up because I was like 2 parts behind basically. And then the last part for this project comes out, I think, on Christmas. So this is what it's going to look like. And this is what it looked like last time. And this is what it looks like now. So I took it out of the Q-snap. I was working on the chai right here. But I haven't finished it yet. But I took it out of the Q-snap so I can show the whole thing. So maybe that'll work. So yeah, let me get you close in here. So, well, I'll show the pumpkin spice latte one first since that's the first one I did. So here's what the pumpkin spice latte one looks like. I think the last time I showed it to you, it just had like eyes and a nose. So I basically saved the fill-in for last. So I think I did like the white on the whipped cream and then I did the orange on the actual box. But I tried this new way of filling in and honestly, I don't know if it was faster or if it just tricked me into thinking it was faster, but I really enjoyed it. And I'm kind of doing it a little bit on the chai, and I'll show you in a second. But basically, I was doing one leg of the cross for the whole section, and then going back and doing the other leg for the whole section. So then it just kind of, it seems like it fills it in faster, and just kind of, I don't know, makes me feel like I'm making more progress more quickly. But there's the chai, and you can see what I'm talking about here. So I've just done one leg for the top part of the inside here, and then come back over with the other leg. So the only thing left to do on this, other than fill that in, is I gotta do all the white behind all this speckledness, and then I gotta do all the frilly stuff around the word chai, and then this border right here is supposed to go all the way to the C in cafe. So yeah, that's what that's looking like. So I'll talk about this later, but I think I'm gonna bring this with me for all my traveling because I really want this to be basically almost done by the end of the year. I know that's not gonna happen because this part doesn't come out until the 25th, but if I can at least get all this done and get this one started, that would be great. That way next year I can just work on the beading and then it'll be basically done. So yeah. But I realized too that like I feel like I've stitched this pretty fast because I didn't join in when they came out with this. Like when I started, there was already 3 parts out. So yeah, it's a lot of stitching. Between the pumpkin spice latte and what I've done on chai, I've spent basically 11 hours stitching this. So absolutely wild. That's a long time. It's like half a day. But anyway, yeah. Okay. The other thing that I worked on was my crochet blanket. I didn't really work too much on it, and I contemplated whether or not I was going to show it or not because obviously it's just like a big bundle of yarn, but I figured I might as well bring it out because that same ball that I showed you last week, this is it. So it's getting close to the end there. So my crochet blanket is coming along. It's quite large. I guess maybe I should have put a stitch marker where it was last time, but as you can see, I got bored, and so I kind of did some of the cable on that side. But I believe that it was like, I don't know, maybe to here or so last time. So yeah, this is what it looks like though. I'm really excited about it, but the only thing that I've realized lately is that while working on it and it's being bigger and bigger and bigger, is that it gets a little more complicated to like move the fabric around, so that I'm crocheting in the right spot. But yeah, I mean, it's just the nature of crocheting or knitting, because whatever you're making is just physically getting bigger. Whereas with cross stitch, like your fabric is gonna stay the size that it is while you stitch on it. So, but yeah, this is getting really big. I'm really excited. I think after this ball is done, I have 4 balls left. So basically we'll be halfway done once I get through this yarn. And it really does crochet up really quickly. So I don't know if I'll really have time before I leave town, but I think it would be nice to finish this ball before I leave. Just to, I don't know, I feel like it'd be a good stopping place, because it's like, oh, I finished the ball of yarn. But yeah. Okay, so that's pretty much all I worked on. Like I said, work was kind of busy last week, so I didn't do too much after work, and when I did, I was working on this cozy cafe. So yep. But it was funny because yesterday I didn't stitch at all, and Bobby was playing Stardew Valley, which is hilarious because he like started it on a whim. Like he was just bored and he pulled up my Switch and like was like, oh, I'll start a farm. And he like skipped the intro story, so he had no idea like what was happening. And anyway, he has gotten into he started this farm before this weekend, just FYI, but he is now like at the end of fall in his first year. Okay, I had my water sitting on Piper's tower and she just jumped up and I was afraid she was gonna knock it over, but she didn't. Anyway, Bobby was playing a lot of Stardew Valley last night, or just yesterday in general, and it was just cracking me up because he went from like having no interest in this game to being like fully engrossed in it. And so anyway, it just makes me laugh. But I didn't stitch any yesterday because I was just kind of, honestly, a little bit restless and frazzled because I was like, oh my gosh, like I have so much to do before I leave town and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, I think packing is so difficult because I hate having to pick out what I'm going to wear 5 days from now. That just doesn't vibe well with my brain. So, but the rest of it's really easy. Like the actual putting it in the suitcase and like packing all the toiletries, like I have no problem with that. But it's the picking out the clothes that takes forever for me. So, yeah. Okay, those are my projects. And a little side note. So now I have some haul to show, I guess. Yeah. So one's not stitchy. I'll show you that one first. I talked about last week or 2 weeks ago that I had ordered some Christmas themed washi tape, and I didn't realize that it was coming all the way from China. So it took a little bit to get here, but honestly, pretty impressive considering it was free shipping and it got here within like a week and a half or so. So this is the washi tape that I got. And I have this taped out in my journal so you can get a better look at it, but yeah. The only thing I don't like about this washi tape is it has backing on it. So I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but I'll try to explain. So like, this is the tape, right? And it has a backing on this side. So you basically have to cut the tape and then peel it off like it's a sticker. And the only thing that makes that annoying is that I have to use a piece of tape to keep the roll together so it doesn't come unraveled. But that's literally the only beef I have with this. The designs are really pretty. It's really good quality tape. Let's see. Here it is. So I've got all the tape taped out for you guys to see. So yeah. My favorite, well, the reason I bought this one is because of this cat tape. And then the others were just really pretty too. So they're a little, yeah. I love them so much. So the reason I bought these two is that I was setting up my bullet journal for December, and I realized I didn't really have any cute Christmas washi tape. So I was like, I'm gonna order some. So anyway, but it didn't come in until like halfway through the month, so it's fine. My bullet journal looks cute now, and I'll have the tape for years to come. So, okay, yeah, got the washi tape. And then next thing is my December Color and Cotton Floss of the Month Club, or Thread Club. Anyway, I'm in the 3 skein club, and this is what they look like for December. Ooh. This is what we got. Pretty Christmassy. So the white one is called Tusk. The red one is called Red Fox. It's kind of like a reddish orange. And then the gold one is called Clothes. But let me see. Yeah. This one honestly kind of reminds me of the fox that I'm stitching for the Cozy Cafe. But yeah, and this white honestly matches my sweater pretty well because it's like white but has like some cream in it. So yeah, these are my flosses for December. And I haven't used any of my Color and Cotton floss, but my stash is growing. So, okay, and then the last thing I have for haul is a book. So, Bobby and I, since we're not actually going to be seeing each other on Christmas, because he's going to see his mom's side of the family and I'm going to Disney with my family, we did Christmas a little early for the 2 of us so that we could exchange our gifts. And this is one of the gifts that he got for me. So this is Cross Stitch for the Earth from Emma Congdon. I'm so excited about this book. She has another one called Cross Stitch for the Soul. But all of these designs are like nature based or nature themed. So my favorite one that I'm most excited to start is the one that says unplug and go outside. This one. So I think this is gonna be the first one that I do out of this book, but the designs in here are so pretty. This is kind of the page where she has them all laid out. But yeah, I'm so excited. They're so pretty. I love the unplug and go outside. I love the little woods one right there. I love the little one right above it with the whales and the narwhal. Yeah, they're so pretty. And I love this one too. So yeah, lots of good stuff in here. And here's another kind of picture of the back. I'm sure there's people online who have done flip throughs of this and obviously skip over the pattern pages. But yeah, so if you're curious about what else is in here, I would just Google cross stitch for the Earth flip through or something. But yeah, so I'm super excited to get started on some of these because they're just so pretty. And I love Emma Congdon's designs because I love stitching the words. And yeah, anyway, it's really cool because she's got, of course, her about the author back here. And it says here that she worked as a graphic designer for advertising and design agencies before rediscovering her love of cross stitch, and then she decided to become a cross stitch designer. So anyway, her designs are amazing. If you're not aware, she is Stitchrovia on Etsy, so that's a great place to check out her patterns. But the ones that are in this book and then this her other book, you can only get in those books. So yeah, I'm really excited. Okay, so that's all that I have to show for projects and haul and stuff. So now I have kind of plans to talk about. So first things first, like I said, I'm going out of town for the holidays and I'm probably not going to have a lot of time to work on any projects, but I am still going to bring one, and that is going to be Cozy Cafe. So I'm deciding to bring this because I'm really close to being done with it, and I don't know, I feel like it's a decent piece to travel with because, like, since each cup is its own thing, you kind of just put the Q-snap where the next cup goes and you just leave it there. So yeah, but I gotta finish chai, and then hopefully when the other part comes out, I can start on that one. Okay, I thought I rubbed it against my lips and I was like, oh, please don't get lipstick on here. But yeah, so I'm gonna take this with me. We'll see if I get to do any work on it. The only traveling with cross stitch that I've done is in the car, and stitching in the car is really hard. So we'll see how stitching on an airplane goes. I imagine it won't be, I feel like it would be easier, but I'm not sure. So, and then I haven't flown since like October of 2019, so it's been quite a while. But I was also like, I wasn't sure if I was gonna bring a book or bring cross stitch, so I'm just gonna bring both. It won't take up that much space. So yeah, but yeah, so since I'm only gonna bring the one thing and I'm not sure if I'm gonna stitch on it, probably won't have a lot to talk about in my next video. However, I am gonna use that opportunity to talk about my plans for 2022. So my next video should be like January the 3rd, I think, something like that. 1, 2, maybe January the 2nd is what it is. I think the 3rd is the Monday. So I think that I'm going to, I don't really know how, I definitely have enough stuff to make enough content for a video. I don't know if it will include, my idea is that I will show you guys pretty much everything I finished in 2021, and then do like a whip parade, and then talk about what I plan to do. I did play around with making a whip go board, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna go through with it because I only have 10 projects. So the whip go board, since it has like 24 spots, obviously a lot of these projects show up more than once. So like for example, like the Alice in Wonderland and the Wizard of Oz, since they're basically set up the same, like each block on my whip go board, I made like a block on the cross stitch project. But I don't know if that's really realistic, because then technically I could get 2 Alice in Wonderland blocks picked, and I don't really want to make myself work on one project for the entire month. So we'll see. I might just use it as a way to randomize, like if I'm not sure what I want to work on, just randomize one thing. So anyway, I think I'm going to use it more as these are some options that I can pick from versus I'm trying to play bingo. So anyway, but I'm going to talk more about that in my next video. Honestly, it'll kind of be like me figuring it out as I'm talking about it, because I'm not really going to plan anything beforehand. So yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, thanks for joining me today. I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I will see you guys in 2 weeks. So yeah, I don't have a question for you today because I just want you to enjoy the holidays. So no, I do have a question. Okay, so if you've been to Disney World or Disneyland, I want you to tell me what your favorite ride is at the park. That's my question for you today. Okay, so yeah, let me know your favorite ride. Have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and I will talk to you guys in 2 weeks. Bye!